Well, good morning, everyone. It's another chilly day in Northwest Tennessee. We're going to finally get around to doing the walkthrough on our motorhome. We're pretty much done. We've got a couple things to do too, but we're done for this year. We'll be working on it a little bit more come spring. We'll tell you all about that then. So I'm Dave from Down the Road We Go. So let's go take a tour. This is a Thor Windsport 34J. It was a bunkhouse, but we've converted that. So what we're going to start with is the outside, so we can have the slide in so you can see everything. The back compartment is just a nice pass-through. We've got stuff in there. But this compartment down here, hopefully you can see down at the bottom, those are connections for hoses. And let's show you what we did. Let's turn on some light down in here. Basically, the way this is our water closet. Okay, so this is where we put the filters and the water softener, and it's all underneath here, and we have a way to regen the water softener when we need to. And this is where it comes in. We have a hose connection that goes on here. It snaps on. It also snaps on over here, another hose. This hose goes up to the city water connection there. Now what happens is the city water connects here, comes in, goes through our two filters. Now we can shut that off up to the water softener, and then from the water softener down to these connections right here, which is where we will put salt in it to regen it without taking it out. And then it eventually comes out down here. A hose will attach to here. This white hose will attach to there. And then, like I said, it'll go out to the water connection, the city water connection here. The biggest reason I did that is, you know, this stuff gets heavy, and it's hard to pick up those filters when it got water in them, and especially the water softener. It's really heavy when it's got water in it. So now I don't ever have to take it out of there unless I'm taking it out for the winter or something. So that's the first upgrade and modification. Now on to the next one. Okay. The next one, let's try a little light down here. The next one is the big one. We put a 5-gallon, 200-pound air tank in here with a VIXIA 200-pound air compressor. That's all controlled from a button on the dash, and we'll show you that later. But with this, we have an air horn, which goes up front. We'll show you that. And we have a connection for air hoses in case we have to blow up a tire or, you know, put air in whatever. We can adjust that with a regulator for as little or as much air as we want. That we can turn it on while we're driving down the road, and that way we have our air horns. So let's take a look at the next compartment. In the next compartment up front, we're on the side towards the front. Didn't really mod too much. What we did though is we put in this reel in here, and this is for the electrical cable. So we can wind the electrical cable up in there, and I don't have to carry it and flop it up in a compartment again. I just put one piece in there, run over it, crank it up, and it cranks it right back in there. So let's go take a look at the air horns. Now we ended up putting the air horns up front, and the only place we could really find to put them was right down there against the frame in the front. We mounted them down there. They're all wired up, and we've got a switch on the dash where we can turn them on and off, so we can either have the air horns or not have them, but I think I'm just going to leave that on. So when we get up there, we'll kind of show you where the switches are and honk them once or twice. Now that we have the slide out, gives us a little bit more room in here. We can go ahead and show you what we've done in here. Let's start at the front We kind of have too much light up front because we're facing out, but hopefully we can see down in here. You can see that I've added some switches. Of course, this is the air compressor switch. This is the horn switch. As long as that's up, then that's, and we can turn the air compressor. I think you can hear it. Here's what this horn sounds like. I think it's loud enough. We can also turn that off, and it's just a regular horn. Won't be doing that much. We've got our Rand McNally hanging up here. Our tire, easy tire monitor. We have our camera that faces down the road. We'll be taking that video down the road. And I can turn that on with just a push button. We've also got a vehicle crash cam up top. And we've got a GoPro 5 Session on Shirley. We also have a GoPro 5 Session on me. And where is it? There it is. So we'll be able to video all of this there, and you'll notice that it's got the microphone part, because we've got a mic here and one going across wide over, and Shirley's got one right over there. So the audio should be better this year, hopefully. Okay, one of the things that I wanted to make sure I did was, you know, we've got a satellite and all that stuff hooked up in here. But I also wanted, you can see it, but there's a little box up there called an air cube, and it's total Wi-Fi inside the rig. Well, it goes outside too, but it's basically our Wi-Fi. And I've got that attached up through the ceiling outside, and I have that attached to the old style antenna. Now I can crank that up and crank it back down, and we can get it, it gets up there pretty high, so that way we get a pretty good signal from either the campground or somebody outside the campground, since usually the campground Wi-Fi isn't that great. We've also got a, you know, a unlimited hotspot that we just hook up through Wi-Fi. That way if Shirley's driving down the road and wants to look up a campground, she can, no problem. So that's one of the must-haves if you ask me. A couple other things we've done as far as creature comfort and a request from Shirley. We've put in these the new thermostats, the Honeywell digital thermostats, so that it doesn't have such a wide range of up and down as far as the temperature. They seem to be working pretty good. We've got one here and one back in the bedroom. Now Shirley, she's always had a problem with knowing if the water heater is on. So now we don't have to worry about that because I put in lighted buttons. So turn it on, we get a light, and she'll know it's on and know to turn it off, because there's been a few times we've gone to bed with it on not knowing that it was on. Why they didn't have a light on it, don't know, but that was for Shirley's convenience. On this door here, got a nice little doorknob for Shirley. She said she had a hard time trying to figure out where to grab it to pull it. That makes it a lot easier. Now we're going to start from the front. So, but even though this was the last thing we did, of course it was in our last video, so you want to go back and look at our last video and you'll see how we did this. We tore out the booth. Now there's a method to our madness. First off, we wanted more room, and those booths are never comfortable. I don't care what you do to them. So they're gone. We tore all that out. But eventually, next spring, we're going to be building a cabinet that'll go all the way. We'll take this out. Table will be gone. We're going to build a cabinet. It'll go from down over here all the way across. And it'll be tall enough to have a fireplace in it. And the TV will either go up and down in it or just sit on it, instead of the TV being like it is, where it's just hanging there right now. So that's one future modification we can't get to this year. We're going to have to get to it in next spring before we do other things. You never know, there might be a summer trip. Anyway, that's the last thing we did. The big modifications, well, let's go back here. Let's look at the back bedroom. Get some light on the subject. Shirley and Anita decided that this room needed to be brightened up, so they shiplapped it. Yeah, we spent too much time down in Waco, Texas at the silos. But anyway, it did brighten it up a lot, and it was very easy to do. It's not real wood, you know, it's faux shiplap, but I mean, it brightened it up. Looks great. So they did that early on. That was one of the first projects. The big project is taking the bunkhouse out and putting in an office. We finally got that done. We got the computer in. We're still have, you know, we got to put some different things in there, maybe little decorations or stuff, but we've still got a little bit to go. Oh yeah, they shiplapped this too. So, but this is the office. We've got the printer on that side, and if you haven't seen the video, I'll put a little card up in the corner so that you can go see this video. Basically, it cost us nothing but $50 for that chair. All the rest of the wood was repurposed from the tear out. The desks were part of the doors that used to be here, and we used the wood down below to create you know, a place to put my feet plus a place to store stuff down underneath. The wires all go along in this place, and you can lift the lid off and store stuff down there. If you notice that, of course, I ran the electrical down there all the way down to this side. So we can put paper or whatever we want in this side also. And we'll probably have a laptop over here. Shirley's laptop will fit pretty good. But we're calling this done, except for little things on the wall and that sort of stuff. But it came out pretty good. So basically, that's the modifications we've done. All the cameras up front, the Wi-Fi, the taking out of the dinette, and redoing the bunkhouse into a nice office. I think we're really going to enjoy it. We weren't too sure we were going to enjoy the motorhome at first, but we've come around, and we can't wait to get going. Matter of fact, except for one more video where we talk about season 4 coming up, which would be basically your season 4 trailer. This will be the last video of the year for season 3, and it's just about Thanksgiving. And after this comes out in that other video, we'll only have about 2 or 3 weeks before we head out of here to Florida, and we got a lot to do. So that next video, we'll explain a little bit more to you about what's going on, and we won't have any videos for a couple weeks, but we'll be gangbusters into season 4, and you're going to enjoy season 4 because we're going to go a lot of weird places. So we'll talk about that more in our next video. You know, as always, click the little button to subscribe and the little bell to get notified, and share it if you can, and give us a thumbs up or give us a thumbs down. If you give us a thumbs down, it's no problem. Give us 2, so click it real quick. That way you get I get 2 thumbs down. We like thumbs down. Just click it real quick. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. We hope you enjoyed the video, and it won't be long till down the road we go.